The amateur botanist is thrilled by the discovery of an unusual or rare wildflower. But the delicate beauty of our wildflowers is of interest to nearly everyone. As our title indicates, Lively Gems Volume 2 is a continuation of the series depicting a few of the wildflowers encountered in Harrison County, Texas. As in the original volume, our aim is to delight the eye rather than to present a botanical dissertation. All pictures were made of living flowers in their natural habitat without the use of artificial lighting or background. Since many flowers grow in rather deep shade or bloom only at certain times of the day, the exposures required are sometimes rather long. And since the flowers usually quivered in the slightest breeze, much patience was required in the photography of these lively gems. All slides were made with the Leica, usually with the Bellos ground glass and 135mm lens, on Kodachrome 1 and 2 film. This is the scarlet paintbrush, Castanea indivisa, although we usually call it Indian paintbrush. Its home is East Texas. The paintbrushes are a genus of about 75 species, some of which are believed to be partially parasitic on the roots of other plants, probably grass. The wild blackberry is noted for its tasty berries, but we think its flower deserves equal praise. An attractive member of the milkweed family is butterfly weed, and we agree that butterflies find it tempting, but it is too beautiful to be called a weed. Scentless wild onion, or crow poison, grows in nearly every lawn in early spring, a member of the lily family. Yellow stargrass of the amaryllis family. Our extreme East Texas species is Hypoxis juncea. The true buttercup is rather rare in East Texas. However, this is one, Ranunculus fascicularis, or pine buttercup. It has the characteristic varnished appearance. The golden aster is quite rare. This one was photographed in very dim lighting. Here is another aster, Aster philoloepus. And this is the stiff aster. And the white woodland aster. Everyone is familiar with the friendly little Johnny Jump Up, or field pansy, Viola raffinescui. The bird's foot violet, Viola pedata, is one of our most beautiful native violets. Texas botanists seem to think it occurs only in southeastern Texas, but we have found a number of specimens in Harrison County. Viola loveliana is perhaps our showiest and largest native violet. The lance-leaved violet, or Viola lanceolata. Our specimen was found right at the water's edge of Caddo Lake. Many times the common names of flowers are misleading as well as confusing. This beautiful little flower is rattlesnake flower, Brazoria truncata. But this charmer is also commonly known as rattlesnake flower, although quite different from the above species. It is Brazoria scutelloroides. And this is the lyre-leaved sage, or Salvia labrata. This is milk vetch. About 35 species of milk vetch occur in Texas. This charming but tiny flower is seldom noticed. A member of the mint family, it is Trichostemma dichotomum, and its common name is quite appropriate, blue curls. This should not be confused with another flower occurring in Texas with the same common name. A front view of blue curls. Wild honeysuckle, a bushy plant and quite different in appearance from the vine honeysuckle. This is Wara villosa. A common site is false dandelion, Pyropappus carolinaanum, and the equally beautiful seed head. Ionoxalis violacea, or violet wood sorrel. And its beautiful cousin, Anthoxylus rufa, or yellow wood sorrel. This odd little flower is pussy toes of the genus Antonaria. Gay feather of the genus Laciniaria. Ironweed, Vernonia texanus. Growing with its feet in the water of a small creek in very early spring is bittercress, Cardamine bulbosa, a member of the mustard family. A closer look at the bittercress flowers. The lobelias also grow near the water, but they bloom in the fall of the year. Lobelia amina, one of the blue lobelias. Another blue lobelia, Lobelia puberola. By far the most spectacular of the lobelias is the one red one, Lobelia cardinalis, or cardinal flower. The cardinal flower is in danger of extinction and should not be disturbed. In a good year they bloom profusely along the banks of Caddo Lake. The passion flower, Passiflora incarnata, is known to most children as the flower of the maypop vine. Its fruit is edible. Another flower with edible fruit is the bull nettle, but most people prefer to avoid contact with the vicious stings that cover all parts of the plant. The smooth coneflower is the tallest and, in our opinion, the most beautiful of all the coneflowers, Rudbeckia amplexicolis. The pale coneflower is a welcome variant from the yellows of most coneflowers. It is Brauneria pallida, and the drooping petals are characteristic. Occurring at the same time and in the same places as the coneflowers is wild larkspur, Delphinium carolinaanum, and this one seems to be popular with our local insects. A flower whose rich color and delicate perfection are a special reward to the flower lover is winecup, or poppy mallow. Winecup is known to botanists as Callirrhoe leocarpa. The Cherokee rose, or wild white rose, seems to prefer the edges of roads. It is also found around old home sites in this county. Bruaria picaringuei grows on a small, tough vine that lies on the ground of our sandy lawns. Its flower is reward enough for the minor annoyance of the vine. The Indian potato, sometimes wrongfully called morning glory, although it is a member of the morning glory family. A beautiful and rare flower with a startling true blue color, Hydrolea ovata. This is the only member of the waterleaf family that occurs locally. It grows at the edges of pools. Schrankia uncinata, or sensitive briar, a member of the mimosa family. We were excited and thrilled to find this charming flower growing near our back door. It is golden corydalus, and its home is far from East Texas. Its seed must have hitchhiked for thousands of miles to bring us its beauty. Its home is Nova Scotia to Alaska and through the Rocky Mountains to Arizona. Our soil and climate must be totally unsuitable, as it did not reappear the next year. Heel-all, Prunella vulgaris, has traveled to us from a greater distance than golden corydalus, but found our land to its liking. It is a native of Europe and occurs everywhere in this area. Helianthus hirsutus, one of our native sunflowers. A somewhat different flower is Coreopsis crassiflora. The lavender and purple spiderwort is a welcome sight in the spring and early summer along our roads and highways. Tradescantia hirsuticolis. Camelina, or dayflower, is a member of the spiderwort family. Unlike the Tradescantia branch, it occurs only in shades of blue. The discovery of our first yellow-fringed orchis was an unforgettable occasion. Blephariglottis ciliaris is a true orchid and native here in East Texas. It blooms in midsummer and grows only in low, wet, sandy loam near the heads of small streams. The unusual color and deeply fringed lip are striking. The May apple is easily recognized. The leaf stems, like two upraised arms, are characteristic of the flowering plant. The single white blossom of Podophyllum peltatum is borne at the joint of the leaf stems. The fruit is edible. This is a friendly little plant, Jack in the pulpit, here shown in fruit. A closer view of the fruit of Arisaema triphyllum. This is a member of the madder family, Mitchella repens, whose common name is twinberry. The flowers always appear as twins, as shown here. It is a small creeping vine whose evergreen leaves sometimes carpet the ground. The twin flowers shown before combine to form this single scarlet berry that remains attached to the plant all winter. Here is another stunning flower that gives a real thrill to the discoverer. It is the pinewoods lily, Eustylis purpurea. We had great difficulty in capturing this lovely flower on film, as it was in deep shade and its thin stem made it one of the liveliest of our lively gems. To illustrate some of the difficulties of wildflower photography, here is the pinewoods lily as photographed in the rain. Surely this gorgeous flower must have a regal name, but alas, no. Its most common name is dragonhead, although it is also known as obedient plant and lionheart. Botanists refer to it as Fastigia digitalis. We think it deserves a better name than any of these. but common names can be quite ambiguous. This lovely flower is known as wild foxglove, Pentstemon laxifloris. And this equally lovely flower is also called wild foxglove, yet it is Pentstemon digitalis. Gerardia tenuifolia is handsome. The 1-inch flowers are borne on delicate, almost thread-like stems. The leaves are quite small. The plant is much branched and about 12 to 15 inches high. Gerardia tenuifolia is also unusual. It blooms in the fall, although most Gerardias bloom in the summer. It is the only Gerardia whose petals curve inward rather than outward. The pea family is a very large one and includes about 17,000 species throughout the world. This is Baptisia leucantha. Baptisia laeviculus, wild indigo. Baptisia sphaerocarpa, or bush pea, occurs along with wild indigo, but is a different species, although a member of the same genus. The blossom of the butterfly pea is seldom noticed because it is so retiring. However, it is quite common in this area. The blossom is large, nearly 2 inches across. Also a member of the pea family is this lupin. Beggar ticks are a well-known hazard of walking in the woods. They are the seed of this beautiful flower, also a member of the pea family. The pink partridge pea, Strophostyles umbellata, must be photographed on the first day of blooming, as it turns a soft cream yellow on the second day. The yellow partridge pea is quite common and quite different in appearance, Cassia fasciculata. The tuberous roots of the ground nut are edible and taste like peanuts. Apios tuberosa, or ground nut. Of all the pea family, this is our favorite. These wildflowers are beautiful, graceful, and delicate. Very few can withstand transplanting to the flower garden. The flowers shown here have survived to bring us their beauty because our ancestors left them undisturbed. please do as we have done. Look, enjoy, but don't touch, so that our children and their children may enjoy them as we do.